This is the dumbest thing to set up. If I could talk to the people at Periscope, the first thing that I would tell them is, you shouldn't have to press a stupid button. You shouldn't have to go live first before pressing a stupid button to switch the screen around. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Prospects After Dark. You know me as Kyle Reese. I write for the esteemed Birds on the Black. This will be the last Prospect After Dark that we do before I go down to spring training here on Thursday. I'm really excited. I am planning, I'll be in spring training from Thursday until Monday, and we are going to have to do a Prospect After Dark over the weekend. You'll know, the Avocado Man. I'm the reverse Avocado Man. We call me that because my head is misshaped weird. Part of this program is called Kyle After Dark. Part of it's called Prospect After Dark. Prospect After Dark is usually the first half an hour of our program and 40 minutes or so. And then Kyle After Dark usually happens after the first 30 or 40 minutes of our program when things get super weird. Let's see. We have a ton of stuff to talk about. A ton of stuff. We have baseball games. We have anything you want to talk about, we can talk about. Again, we'll get to the prospect stuff to start, and then later on, as we devolve into a group of drunken jerks, we'll get to the nasty stuff. Let's see. Mo's algorithm asks, who's Ray Langford? Ray Langford was the guy who wore that beautiful, beautiful, beautiful jersey, beautiful number 16, before Colton Wong ever did, or Chris Duncan. Somebody who brings up Chris Duncan. Chris Duncan should never have been allowed to wear this jersey. Number 16, it never should have happened. We're already getting to Delvin Perez player comp and ETA. That's a really interesting thing. We're going to get to that in a little bit. What happened if Flaherty kills all spring? Is he in the rotation? I think it would depend on if someone got hurt for that to happen. I heard somebody say something that, like, the Cardinals might go, or somebody wrote an article about the Cardinals having a 6-man rotation. That's not going to happen. You can put that to bed. But I could definitely see something happening. Jack Flaherty's the next in line. As long as they're waiting for Alex Reyes to figure his stuff out, I would imagine Jack Flaherty's the next in line, so anything could happen. GS Animus says it depends on Weaver. I think it depends on Mikolas. I think it depends on Wainwright's health. Everyone has got to come out healthy, so there's definitely some obstacles. Best number 16 in STL history, Brett Hall. I agree. I can't argue that. If Weaver sucks or goes down, Flaherty goes in. I agree. I think that's a solid thing. Jordan Schaefer is not very good. Not only is Jordan Schaefer not very good, Jordan Schaefer is awful. And I don't want to wish ill will on people, but I am glad that it's going that way because it's a stupid and silly distraction. It's a fun story, yeah, but you know what? I don't care if a guy can be a loogie out of the bullpen and take 3 at-bats a week. I'm not interested in that at all. I believe somebody just put up Jordan Schaefer's ERA, and it's 95.40. That's not bad. It looks like Holy Shield says Jordan Schaefer's fast, that's it. He's 100% correct. You got yourself a speedy base runner like Adron Chambers was for the 2011 Cardinal teams. Waka 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 out, Flaherty in, someone says. That could very well be the case if Michael Waka falls apart. There's still so many question marks. Chambers, you my boy! Somebody said, Chambers, you my boy. It's an inside joke for the morning program we watch. Just a fantastic drop, the best drop ever. Flaherty does have a chance to be in the rotation, but there are obstacles in the way. Somebody asked a couple seconds ago, does John Gant start the season in Memphis? I would think so. We'll see how it all breaks with camp. There's still a month left of camp, so anything could happen. But, smart money right now is on John Gant breaking and going to Memphis. Now, poor Mo's algorithm says Cy Mikolas and then a bunch of crying faces. Watching people freak out over Mikolas' start was hilarious. Let's get a little deeper and see what happens, but it was bad. Let's get down to business. Somebody asks, am I drinking anything tonight? We'll get to the questions again here in a second. Tonight, I am drinking Knob Creek. It's their single barrel. It's 120 proof. Again, I've been trying to drink the heavier stuff, so I cut down on drinking because I went through like a 6-month phase where I was drinking like a maniac. Really, really concerning there. We can laugh about it now. So I drink the heavy stuff, hoping to cut down a little bit. Mikolas couldn't get AJ Reed out. No, he couldn't. It was bad. It was really bad. Waka had such a good season last year. I'd like to see what he does this year. Me too, man. If he's healthy, there's no reason to take him out of the rotation and put him in the bullpen. Still spending. All right. This is where it gets fun. Somebody asked another person participating in our little chat if he's still spending all of his fantasy money on Mikolas. I love that. Keep the little banner up away from me. I can't get enough of it. What did you think of Jason Mott's first spring training appearance? That's a great question. I thought he looked good. I love how pissed off he was at how bad the umpire was. I still think that his road to the majors and I still think his road to the majors is a tough one. He might find his way up there in the middle of the season, but anything could happen. I loved how fiery he was. To my buddy Dan Quaney, who says, "You look good bald," he said, "I look great bald," and he's damn right. I look super good bald. My head's like a reverse avocado. It's got a bunch of little dents in it. If you look at it from the side, it looks like this part ran into a wall. It's pretty fantastic, my head. Not going to be our playoff hero. That'd be incredible. 500 strikeouts, 800 saves. I think that those are both understatements for Jason Mott. I think you're looking at 600 saves and 1,000 strikeouts this year. Yeah, the issue with Mott, as someone just said, is that he's only throwing 93, 94 miles an hour, and it's still straight. Forever Cards, who is our Pacific Northwest representative of Cardinal Nation, lives up in the Seattle area, and he said that he was impressed with Marco Gonzalez. I heard Marco Gonzalez had a really great little debut, or a really great little feel out for Seattle. That's great. I root for that kid. I wish nothing but the best for Marco Gonzalez. If everything goes well, you're talking about a fourth or fifth rotation piece, and that's fantastic. And you got to root for him. It was always contingent, his success, on developing a breaking pitch. It was the same story with Luke Weaver. Luke Weaver was never going to be a starter until that curveball came along. And as the unbelievably talented STL Cup of Joe showed you earlier in the week in his pitch tunneling articles on Birds on the Black, he was starting to put it together. So it's all good stuff. There's a lot of really, really good things. Dude needs a splitter. I'd love to see Mott throw a splitter or a screwball. I'll tell you what, if that dude had a nasty sinker, that'd be something too. I like the idea of him throwing a splitter. Bryce Denton. Did you say that or did I, Graham? What about Moustakas for a bargain? Graham, we'll get to the Denton question here in 1 second. What about Moustakas as a bargain? We talked about it a little last week. I'm not particularly on board with that. I'd rather have Jed Jerko starting at third. I don't think he offers anything more in the way other than a left-handed bat at third, and he's going to cost more money, and it stops you in the long haul from going out and maybe getting something in Donaldson or Machado. That would really help the team. Memphis is going to be the most loaded with prospects to start this year as compared to the other Cardinals minors. Springfield's going to be a good team too, but that Memphis lineup is going to be loaded. Don't worry, guys. I don't actually care about Bryce Denton. That's what New Boy says. His family's going to come after you in your direct messages. I can promise you that. Moose for Mott and Schaefer. Yeah, you could drop both of those, Mott and Schaefer, and sign Moose. To Graham's question, what Graham was alluding to when he was saying Bryce Denton. Graham asked me on Twitter earlier. I don't have a real fast, Graham. I don't have a problem with Moose. You know that. I just don't think he's much of an upgrade. Graham asked me how I feel about who might be like the breakout prospects of 2018. I had said that I still think Bryce Denton has a chance to have a really solid 2018. He's still only 20 years old. He's acclimated to the outfield now. He's not dealing with appendicitis like he dealt with at the beginning of 2017. I think there's a chance for that. I like Chase Pinder. Of all of the outfielders who were drafted by the Cardinals in the 2017 draft, I like Pinder better than I like Scott Hurst. Keep an eye out on him. He's a really solid and exciting outfielder. Brady Whalen is my ultimate choice in all this. Brady Whalen has a chance to really, really plow his way onto the Cardinals' prospect landscape. Keep an eye out for Whalen. He has a fallback of first base. He's playing third base right now. He has big power. He's a terrible, terrible hitter right-handed. He's a good hitter left-handed. And you're going to want to keep an eye on him because he's really, really impressive. he needs to abandon hitting right-handed and just stick left. But keep a close eye on Brady Whalen. And then the other guy to keep an eye on is Elweris, whose name I am butchering, another third baseman, Elweris Montero. Montero could really, really blow the world apart this coming season. He'll probably be in Johnson City. And this time next year, he could be on the prospect fast track, looking at starting in a full season club and maybe taking that short season to Springfield jump. Midmo Cardinal says Jag making a strong case for fourth outfielder. Now, my boy Cards Rants said Jag is a fourth outfielder out of spring training. What are the chances? I think I think that they're not very good. That doesn't mean that they couldn't happen. I just don't think that they're very good. Keep in mind that you're talking about O'Neill's in front of him on the 40-man, not even in a depth chart way. But you have Mercado who's on the 40-man, you have O'Neill who's on the 40-man, and you have Bader who's on the 40-man, along with Breivik Valera, who they're going to try to turn into an outfielder a little bit, Luke Voigt, who is going to get some time out in the outfield. So I would think that it would take like a tremendous amount of success for Jag, Jose Adaliz, as the incredible Brian Walton put us on the right track there, would say. Who is faster, Jag or Bader? I'll take Jag all day long. I think Bader might be the quick burst, but I'll take Jag. No, he has 2 more years, I think. I don't know what you're talking about, and I'm sorry I didn't answer the question. I apologize. You guys know me. I get zoned in sometimes, especially when I'm talking about the prospects, and I know I lose what I'm saying. Real fast, Cards Gifts. The person that you just asked me about in the DM, that's not who I'm talking about. I'll set it straight here in a little bit. Let's see. Francisco Pena is terrible. He is absolutely terrible. Even worse than Francisco Pena is the other minor league catcher that they signed. I believe his name's Steve Barron. He's worse. Bader had exciting speed in his debut. Bader is an electric kid. He's a fun and electric kid, kind of worth keeping an eye on. I say keeping an eye on. You've been keeping an eye on him now for years. Where's Steve Bean? Jesus, I don't know. He had retired from baseball. My guess is he's playing in an independent league somewhere. Not Barilli asks Zach Jackson, ? Hold on. Sorry, at the beginning of these, I need water because I'm cottonmouth and nervous. I've got this anxiety I don't want to talk about, but it gets me a little bit. Zach Jackson. So I imagine that part of the reason Zach Jackson is getting brought up is because MLB Pipeline put out their list of the top 30 prospects in the Cardinals organization, and Zach Jackson was either 26th or 27th. I'll be honest with you, the Pipeline list is fun and all, but they don't really know anything. You can bet that the first 10, 15 prospects are going to be pretty good, but after that, you're going to get kind of a hack list. As I said on Twitter a little while ago, in their 2017 organizational rankings, they're all-stars, the Cardinals all-stars. They had Nick Martini on that list. They had Anthony Garcia. They had like 2 other guys on that list who were not organizational all-stars, and 3 of the guys aren't even in the organization anymore. So just keep that in mind. You know, they're in it for clicks. Jim Callis is good. Jonathan Mayo's solid. I think Mike Rosenberg is the other guy who does it. He's good stuff. It's just that as a group, they kind of put together a shabby list. So what I'll tell you about Zach Jackson is to ignore Zach Jackson. There's not a whole lot to get excited about. Mike Mayers have a shot at 3 starter this year. I think Mike Mayers has a chance to be a bullpen force, and I think the Cardinals will give him every chance to be. Let me rephrase that. I don't think he has a chance to be a bullpen force, but I think the Cardinals will give him every chance to be. I would also think that there's a couple other guys who would be taken off the 40 before Mike Mayers. He's been successful everywhere with the major leagues, and he gets rocked at the major leagues. But just keep that in mind. You know, this is a kid who, in foreign leagues, he's been good. And somebody just said a second ago, holy shilt, Mike Mayers is the next Tyler Lyons. Now, keep in mind, when Tyler Lyons got brought up, he had success. Nobody got beat around like Mayers did. It's a little bit different. But you're right. He might end up being able to come up and play a vital role as a right-handed option in the bullpen. You can never have enough bullpen options, and he's better than Rowan Wick. He's more developed than Rowan Wick. He has better secondary offerings, and believe it or not, his velocity was higher than Wick's in 2017. So, you know, anything could happen. C70, our buddy Daniel Shoptaw of Cards Conclave, the blog father or whatever we call him these days, patron pitcher, anytime patron pitcher, number 70, Tyler Lyons gets brought up. Daniel Shoptaw appears. It's like when you say Beetlejuice 3 straight times. I'm going to root for the Toronto Cardinals. Me too, Ryan. Me too. We got number 4 on that list with the signing of Sunwon-Oh. Grichuk, Jaime, Aledmes, and Sunwon now. I like Toronto as it is. Hopefully they do us a solid and send us Josh Donaldson come June if the Cardinals are still in play. If Jed Jerko hasn't topped out and isn't repeating what he was doing last year. And even then, give us Josh Donaldson, please. Whose autograph is on the baseball on the top of the bookshelf? That autograph is, I coach Little League Baseball. And I've been coaching now for 8 years. And that is the baseball from my first group of Little Leaguers that they signed and gave to me. As a matter of fact, there's a little collage up there of pictures from the Little Leaguers, and it's a really cool little thing. I love that baseball. In my bedroom is the baseball signed by Madison Bumgarner at the Futures game. There's a story there, and pretty cool stuff. So, Minmo Card says Holiday is next to Toronto. Mark it down. I'm going to mark it down. You'll have to remind me. I'm not really going to mark it down, but I can see that happening. Why not? They let you coach Little League. Jokes. Well done. But, it's under my parole officer's usually there, and there's parental supervisions. I have to stay on the other side of the fence. What is the Memphis outfield? J. David Reed, how you doing, brother? Thanks for asking the question. So you start with Jag, and then more than likely Harrison Bader or Tyler O'Neill, and Oscar Mercado. So what you're looking at O'Neill or Bader in left, Mercado in center, and Jag in right. Keep in mind they're going to hold on to Jordan Schaefer. They'll have to deal with that nonsense. They brought on 2 other minor league free agents. One kid who's terrible. His name's like Goatsman. He came from the Rays organization. They brought in someone else, and I can't think of who it is. But they have other options, so those guys will be the fourth and fifth outfielders down there. Oh man, somebody said DeYoung gets traded to Toronto. I'd melt. I just got done writing something about how great Paul DeYoung's going to be, and that would be the worst. Is Jake Arrieta ever going to get a job? No, his career's over. He's in a sunny beach somewhere sipping Mai Tais and pounding it out. Does Jag make up for Lubob? Jag does not make up for Lubob. No one would make up for Luis Robert. I was fortunate enough to have turned on the White Sox game right as Luis Robert was taking his first at-bat, and needless to say, I needed Kleenexes. I was both emotional and in need of cleanup. DeYoung All-Star season. Yeah, you know what? I'll jump on board. I think Paul DeYoung has a chance to have an All-Star season. We signed Jag to entice Lubob. Graham and I have been talking a lot. Yeah, he's right. That was part of also because Jag only cost like $2.5 million. It was, chump chains. Mo's algorithm asking the question, who's Luis Robert? I wish I could forget Mo's. Humpty Dumpty, please don't fall off that wall. Vicinity, falling off. I feel like Bader is more of a fourth outfielder. Jag has skills of a starter. Just thought with... So I agree with you. So the gist of that little comment was Bader is more of a fourth outfielder. Absolutely. Jag does have a chance to be a starter, to be a high-quality right fielder in particular. I wish I would have done anything to have been able to see him throw the guy out at home. I bet you it was a beautiful throw that there aren't a lot of guys in Major League Baseball that would be able to make it the way that he could. He's a beast, man. He's an absolute beast, that Jag. Let's see. Lubob is secondary piece to Alec Hansen, Cy Young winner. What Graham is trying to tell you is that the White Sox have a lot of minor league talent, an absolute ton of minor league talent. I like Bud Norris. I thought he looked good. I thought Bud Norris looked really good too. It's funny. It goes to show you just about perception, right? We've all kind of poo-pooed the Bud Norris signing, but he was good. He could be really good for the Cardinals. I was one of the people who poo-pooed it. Would Jag be a top 5 prospect if he were eligible? I wouldn't say top 5. I think MILB, the pipeline, I think they probably would have put him in the top 12. Not quite top 5. The thing to always remember about Jag is that he's 25 years old. He's not young. And he's played in professional leagues, so he should be tearing up minor league pitching. We'll get a better feel for what Jag is capable of and where exactly he deserves to be on the list midway through this year. He impressed in Memphis last year, so hopefully he keeps that up. How did Hudson do today? I heard that he had let up a bunch of ground balls, but he also walked a couple guys and got himself into trouble. I know Connor Green got in trouble today, but I hope people don't get down on Connor Green. He's a really, really impressive kid who's still trying to sort some things out. But that power's there, and his secondary stuff is really, really good. And he just needs some refining, you know? I like Connor Green better than I ever liked Sandy Alcantara. And hopefully it stays that way. Yet, as Forever Cards, as he responds to Ryan Schul says, Hudson struggled. He struggled to throw strikes. Didn't do some ground balls, which it looks like might be his thing. The Gould article on Green was awesome. Barilli, you're dead on. If you guys haven't checked it out, you need to go to stltoday.com. You need to search for Connor Green by Derek Gould. It's a great story about his upbringing and who he is in ADD. Somebody just asked a question about O'Neill. I apologize for missing it. Ryan Schul says, I've got high hopes for Dakota Hudson. I do too, buddy. Best Indiana Jones movie. Temple of Doom. That Gali Ma scene where they rip out the heart's a particular favorite of mine. Graham says, damn it, Kyle. I agree. These pitchers have been pitching for weeks. This is concerning. Who will have the lowest ERA on the team this year? Of the starters, Carlos Martinez. This is what that's what you were told yesterday, Forever Cards, that ridiculous thing about they've been pitching for weeks. Yeah, it's spring training. Just laugh at those people. Just retweet it and laugh. These guys need refinement. Mikolas just sucks. Sorry, Mose. Oops. Who is Graham? Ryan Schul asks. That's New Boy 67. He's Graham on Twitter. Solo trailer. Your thoughts? I like the Solo trailer quite a bit. It really impressed me. I didn't expect to like it that much. I like the atmosphere, and they did a terrible job of characterizing Luke Skywalker in The Last Jedi, Daniel. Get over it. Deal with it. You're wrong. New Boy 67, what? What? What cards go to the Futures game? Ooh, that's an interesting question. I'll say, so you would think it would be somebody who won't be on the Cardinals' major league roster at any point. Usually it'll be one international player. I'll say Andrew Kisner represents Team USA or Team North America or whoever they do it. And I'll say their international flavored prospect. It'll be a pitcher, pitching in a full. I'll say it's Alvaro Sejas. Well, those are the first two names that come off the top of my head, so I'll just say it'll be those two. Yeah, Jordan Schaefer is the butt of every joke. If the 2 weeks ago our episode of Prospects After Dark was the Bud Norris edition, and last week's episode was the Jason Mott edition, this is the Jordan Schaefer edition of Prospects After Dark. Just a disaster. That poor guy. I say poor guy, but the Cardinals are putting him in this position. He should never have had a chance to pitch. He should just be an organizational depth guy. Is Wong ceiling Ronnie Belliard? Ryan, that's a really good question, man. That's a really solid question. I would say, that's fair. I think, yeah, you know what? That's a solid comparison. I think sometimes we forget about how good Ronnie Belliard was. Yeah, that's something along the lines of Ronnie Belliard. I like that, buddy. Has O'Neill kept up his plate discipline? No, he struck out a bunch. It's been bad so far. But he was good in the Cardinals organizational last year, so my guess is that he's just pressing right now in spring training because he's trying to make an impression. True or false, Wong has a 5-WAR season in him. False. That's not to discredit Colton Wong's ability, but a 5-WAR season is incredible, right? Like, you know, I know that Cards Gifts is coming at me. I know he's capable, and I know the defensive metrics love him, but I don't think 5-WAR is a lot. Mo's algorithm a little while ago said, who's excited for the Prospects After Dark Fantasy League? Now that comes from Cards Gifts as well. So Cards Gifts, update the people on how many spots we have open in this league. I think you said we were up to 10 people had DM'd you. So if we wanted to do a 15-team league, somebody DM Cards Gifts and let's get 15 teams going, man. Mo's algorithms ask, where is Cards? this is empty without him, and that's my fault. It's a long story. I'll leave you out of it. But sometimes I get weird and I get sensitive, and the anxiety kicks in, and I act like a complete dickhead. So I apologize for that. One of the jerks in my other fantasy league asks how. You know what? I'm going to avoid that Cards Gifts. I'm not going to ask that question. Don't tempt the devil. Sometimes. What happens if Wong struggles? Max Schrock. What happens if Wong struggles? Well, I guess you would go over, again, most of the time the answer to these questions for me, I'll go and I'll look at the 40-man, right? Because that answers the question usually. It would probably be Breivik Valera, and if it wasn't Breivik Valera, they'd probably go to Yairo Munoz, and then they'd start adding people onto the 40-man, and then at that point it would be Max Schrock. Max Schrock is dealing with one of those nagging injuries, and now I can't think of what it is. It's the same thing that kept Karp hurt for the majority of the 2016. So, you know, I guess Max Schrock could possibly be an answer, but not in the immediate future. Who has a better career, Tsunami or Reyes? I'll say Tsunami. I think Carlos Martinez does. Somebody asked how many different colors, how many shades of hair are we going to get out of C-Mart this year? I'll say 7. Set the number and go over under. Oblique. The oblique. That's right. The oblique is what's got Schrock down right now. It wasn't the elbow. It was the oblique. How long before we hear that Karp is struggling because he's not leading off? A month into the season if he's not hitting well. That's what everyone will say. Somebody said they don't like Munoz. They kind of remind him of Peralta. I agree. I wrote that in my write-up. By the way, Colin Gardner over at the Redbird Daily has been doing a fantastic job with the write-ups as well. I'm really impressed with the work he's done, and I love it. Hi, Lovecrafts88. Welcome to our little chat. Thanks for participating. Thanks for coming in and having fun. Cardinals Gifts. How do you feel about starting to assign people their wonderful, delightful backgrounds, man? Either hit me up in the direct message or hit me up on our little screen here. I think we're at the point now where we need to start handing out the lock screens. Cards Gifts did an amazing job on it, and I think we need to. Who'd you rather, Matheny or Mo? Mo's a dainty fella. How about, okay, so this is what we're going to do. If I need Cardinals Gifts here because I think he has a way of doing this. But what we're going to do is I'm going to start telling you who I assigned you with as far as lock screen goes, and I'm going to kind of give you a reason why. Kyle. Somebody says Kyle needs readers. I need more than readers. I need full-on glasses. I drove to Portland last year, and I broke them on the trip, and I haven't gotten them fixed, and that was like a year and a half ago. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to hand out the lock screens. I'm going to tell you who you got. I'm going to give you a little reason as to why I gave you that person, and then you'll get that beautiful lock screen via direct message from the one, the only Cardinals Gifts. Now, the screenshot from me was from VHS, not Cards who took it of me. VHS took the picture of me squinting, trying to get my readers. Just wanted to put it out. So here's where we will start. I'm going to go by your Twitter handles, and we'll do it that way. GS Animus says he wants his prospect to be sexy. Now, GS Animus, what I will tell you is, initially, I had you with a prospect, and then I changed it. We'll get to why I changed it here in a little bit. But you, sir, are getting Delvin the Showstopper Perez. I beg you to not be down on Delvin. And here in a matter of 6 days, I'll be telling you why. I'm still high on him. Also, the background that Gifts did is incredible. By the way, let's not bash the prospects. Let's not bash the guys we get. Let's embrace them. Let's get excited. From now on, dude, he's your guy. Now, the next person we're going to do is Graham. Graham, I hooked you up, brother. I hooked you up. Because here in just a little bit in your inbox, you, my friend, are going to be getting Victor. He'll be a legit prospect in 3 years. Garcia. You're welcome. And it's beautiful, and Cards Gifts did an amazing job on it. So there you go. Well, let's see. That brings us to to Nicole. So Nicole, I had to play a little trickery on you via Twitter. I'm sorry about doing this, but here in just a little bit in your direct message, you will be getting a lock screen of Tyler O'Neill, who we call the Canadian Rocky Balboa. And we call him the Canadian Rocky Balboa because he's kind of a meathead, kind of a muscly meathead. He talks with a Canadian accent because he's from Canada. And he kind of talks like this, but it's like, hey, buddy. But he's really cool. He's a really great guy. He's muscle bound. I hope you enjoy it. Let's see. Who's next? Patrick B23. I gave you Andy Only the Good Rake Young. And the reason I did that is because Andy Young is going to be a masher. I believe that you asked for a player at the A level. By the way, for the people who are saying thank you, hey, it's my absolute pleasure. Cards Gifts did an amazing job on these. That's really good stuff. So anyways, I think you're going to love Andy Young. I believe you asked for a player at the A level. Andy Young's going to bring you power. He has a chance to make the majors as a utility player. And I really think he's the kind of guy who you'll be able to watch and follow along with and have easy access to. That's important to me. I want you to be able to follow these guys. Also, drink time. Pardon me. All right. Daniel Shoptaw, C70. My boy. Hey, Patrick B23. You're welcome. My pleasure. Again, get behind Andy Young. Have some fun with him. I love Andy Young. I like him more than I realize. Graham will tell you that. Everyone take a drink if you're drinking. Mo's algorithm says, I hope I got whoever Bader or whoever Langford is. Mo's algorithm. What we did for you is we gave you a prospect who is the most like Cy Mikolas in the organization. Now, I went back and forth. I couldn't decide if I wanted to give you Daniel Ponce de Leon or if I wanted to give you Sam Tavis. And what I went with is Sam Tavis because he's a little further away and he gives you a guy to watch while you also watch Cy Mikolas. They do things a little bit different, but I really think Sam Tavis could be a dynamic starting pitcher, and I really think Cy Mikolas could be a dynamic starting pitcher. So you'll be getting Sam, the next Cy Mikolas Tavis. And I guess that's another fun one because his last name is two E's, T-E-W-E-S, but he pronounces it Davis, and Mikolas is a total shit show of how you pronounce and spell a name. That's right, Delvin's going to walk off Game 7 in the World Series and be the greatest player of all time. That'd be incredible. It could happen, it might not happen, it could happen. That's another thing that's fun with all of this. I hope you guys enjoy this. So C70, we gave Dylan Carlson, the man boy, Dylan the man boy Carlson. And the reason we did that is because Dylan Carlson is a man. He's mature beyond his age. The Cardinals are going to be absolutely reliant on him. And that's exactly how we feel about C70 in our little blogging community. He's the mature one of us all. He keeps us all together. And as Barilli said right there, he's dope. He really is dope. Ooh, I've got buck teeth. Look at these things. Love this stuff. I hope so. So that brings me, Midmo, you're on here somewhere. Oh, Midmo. You're an exciting person to speak with, man. You're a super, super exciting person to speak with. And I got to thinking, and we've talked about some really interesting players, right? And I got to thinking, who is a player that can bring the heat a little bit, right? Who can do a little setup, who can converse, who can hold his own, who's charismatic. And you get Jordan Hicks, my friend. I'm going to give you Jordan Hicks. The kid has limitless potential. And I really, really think, and what we're calling Jordan Hicks, each of these guys have a little nickname. What we're calling Jordan Hicks is Jordan, I'm not the defensive end from the Philadelphia Eagles Hicks. I think Jordan Hicks kind of sounds like a chick's name, and it was almost Jordan is not a hot chick Hicks. Cards Gifts had a really good one for Jordan Hicks, but I don't remember to see what happens. Nobody got Walker Robbins, as Graham says. I can't wait to see who got Walker Robbins. Let's see, Travis White, who isn't listening. I gave Travis White, who also asked for a player at the lower levels, I gave him Elweris Montero. Again, I'm butchering his name, but I think he's a fast riser, so that's who Travis White asked for, just in case Travis White is listening. We had a really cool thing happen. Jacob Woodford's dad reached out to Cardinals Gifts and asked for a lock screen. Woodford's dad's name is Robert. And initially on the lock screen, Cards Gifts put Bob's boy or Bobby's boy or something like that. And Woodford's dad reached back out to Gifts and said his nickname is Woody. So Jacob Woodford's dad, Robert, ends up getting the lock screen of Jake Woody Woodford. How awesome is that, man? That's the kind of community stuff I love. That's the kind of stuff that gets me like queued up to infinity. I love that stuff, man. Ryan Massey, my boy Ryan Massey, who I'm not sure if he's here yet. Ryan Massey gets Jose Adalis Garcia. I don't know if Ryan remembers this, but he and I talked about Jose Adalis Jag a bunch last year. So he gets Jose Adolis Garcia. Reminds me, I still have to think about... we'll ask about Jake Woodford, buddy. Who else wanted that Hicks lock screen? If you guys want another one, put it up there. Let's see. Who am I missing? Oh, Forever Cards. My boy Forever Cards. So I kind of went back and forth on this one. And, you've asked me about college players. Yeah, Ryan, there you go. You get Jag, bro. You get Jag. Sorry, friggin' Cards. Jag is off the table. You're next, okay? We'll get to you in a second. But Forever Cards, who asks tremendous questions and who we love having as part of this chat. You're the one who really wanted me to get into college when we're going to dive headfirst into college. And every one of these articles that I write, all the scouting I'm going to do is going to be engineered towards you. And I got to thinking, who is the best collegiate draft pick of the 2017 for the Cardinals? Who is the guy that I am most excited about? Who is the overachiever? And the only person I could think of that fits that is Evan Mendoza. I don't know how you feel about Evan Mendoza, Forever Cards, but I love Evan Mendoza. He's coming into his own. He's getting it together. So you get Evan, I think we call them the Lone Wolf Mendoza because he's from NC State Wolfpack. That's who you get, my friend, and that's a personal pick. And I hope you like it, but I think you will. To Graham, that's another guy who could really break out. I seem to have him on the top 30 list, and a lot of other people don't. So keep that in mind. There's no politics. Jesus Christ. So friggin' Cards, you're next, buddy. You're next. And the best that I could do with this, I was thinking to myself, I love your family, buddy. I love your family. And I feel like your family has become part of my family. Like you've got this brother thing that's going on. Where you're really close with your brother. I'm like that too. And all I could think about is, if this guy really was my brother, I would want him to have my personal favorite prospect. I would want him to have the guy. I would want him to share in my joy with my personal favorite prospect. I would want to be able to share the good moments with that prospect. Exactly, the Bros Cali trip. So you, my friend, get Ryan High Heat Helsley. He's my favorite. I can't hide it. I can't disguise it. I've been on his bandwagon since the minute they drafted him. I love him. So you, sir, get Ryan Helsley. Did I give Bader to someone? I did not give Bader to anyone. I tried to stay away from the guys who have already spent time in the majors. You guys can, oh no, yeah, for sure. No politics, strictly baseball and weird Mabry stories. So that's it. So, and then C70 says, I was expecting Randy Arozarena there. And it's like a three-way tie with Helsley, Arozarena, and Kisner. But Helsley, because of how dead on I've been about him and his progression, I have a personal fondness for that kid. He's a great, smart kid. And the three of them get lumped together. He is an absolute beast. Evan Mendoza, do I buy a jersey? Buy an NC State jersey. That'd be incredible. I'd love that. Who am I leaving out? Oh, Ryan Schul. Where the hell's Ryan? Ryan went away. Ryan, you, sir, you love Eric Hosmer with every ounce of your being. So I went and found the prospect in the organization who is the most like Eric Hosmer, and that is absolutely Stefan Trosclair. Stefan, basically Eric Hosmer Trosclair. So there you go, brother. You get what you ask for. That's what you get for liking Eric Hosmer. And then finally, not Barilli. Not Barilli. I'm sorry to wait this long to get to you, brother. Hold on. So as I was going through this, I was trying to think to myself, and I told you this on Twitter. Yeah, hey, it's you. It's your turn. I was trying to think of a prospect in the Cardinals organization who overachieves with his skills, like his body type, right? Who you're kind of told, just like Robert Thomas, too small, maybe not fast enough, even though all that stuff's bull. And the only person that I thought of that could really hit on all of that has a he doesn't have the potential of Robert Thomas in the NHL, but he has potential. He plays a premier position. He does it really well. He plays both sides of the field. You, sir, and it's not the sexiest pick, but you, sir, get Tommy Edman. Scrappy little Tommy Edman. And he's more than scrappy. He's good. He's Stanford educated. He's smart. Again, he's not a prospect on the same level as Robert Thomas, but he possesses all of those intangibles. He possesses the baseball IQ. He possesses the actual IQ. He's willing to do whatever it takes to get the win. He'll lay the assist down before he scores the goal. He's diving around out there. He's chasing loose pucks. He's chasing ground balls. I think that's your boy. So you get Tommy Edman, brother. You get Tommy Edman, and I think that concludes our handing out. Guys, I hope you all like them. You should definitely take pictures of him and post them. Cards Gifts did an incredibly crazy, great job on him. And exactly, Robert Thomas could be elite. Guys, I hope you all enjoy them. I'm really happy with them. I'm really pleased. And you'll just get another example here in a little bit of why Cards Gifts is the best on earth. We can talk a little hockey. That Paul Stastny trade was a thing that happened. Actually, they did a really great job getting what they got for Stastny. Roboski eats pasta or nay? Yeah, Roboski eats pasta. You know, that dude's got some like chronic back problems, some chronic back and neck problem. That poor guy. Blues are a joke. Blues are a joke. The last couple months have been terrible. I'm a fan of the Stastny trade as well. It looks like we've decided to go ahead and turn this thing into a Blues podcast. That's fine. Last week it was part White Sox podcast. Allen should have been gone too, maybe. Is there any other baseball-related questions we can get into tonight? Again, I hope everyone locks their lock screen. I think they're fantastic. What else do you guys got? Take a drink. We just did a whole thing. Take a drink and let's get back today. Yeah. Do I ever follow along with Tyler Ward of the Angels? No. You know, you asked me about the Angels organization. I don't really know a lot about them because they've done a really great job of turning their organization from the boot heel of organizations into something prominent. So I honestly, Graham, I'm not as familiar with them. You know, I know Maitan, I know some of the, but I don't know it very well, and I apologize about that. Bald head with a beard is strong look. Thank you. I think so too. Even when your head's misshapen, it somehow works. A minute ago, somebody asked me would I trade Alex Reyes for Luis Robert, and you know what? I think I would. But that's not the right decision to make. It's just a poor decision. Just a poor decision. Wait, you're not Buffa. Believe it or not, no. All of us white people don't look alike, okay? Stop stereotyping. Yeah, what's up, St. Louis? I love St. Louis. That's where I live. It's good stuff. Let's more grew your beard. I don't know what that means. Oh my gosh. By the way, Todd Thiessen posting some great pictures of me squinting and in terrible, terrible pain. You would not do that since we couldn't have had him in more money. I don't know what yeah, no, you're right. I probably wouldn't do it. Let's see. How often do you go to Ballpark Village? I don't go to Ballpark Village all that often. I'm kind of a homebody for the most part, a little reclusive. I might go down there once a month at the most, once every 2 months. Where's John Jay going? Toronto. You just hedge your bets and you say Toronto. Somebody asked a little while ago about signing Hosmer, the Hosmer contract. I thought it was, I guess it's okay in the market, but there's no way I would have ever given it to him. Hey, Nicole changed her name to the same thing on Twitter. Awesome. I think Weaver will be our best starter by season's end. It could very well happen. I like Andrew Kisner. Forever Card says, I agree. My girl always can explain. Yeah, funny. Broxton to Toronto. That'd be incredible. Broxton, Jay, Lynn, Jason Mott here in a little bit. VHS posting pictures of me squinting. Fight me, Forever Cards. See, this is the kind of community I facilitate. I tried to accommodate her. Let's see. He also got you to say a bad thing, Kyle. I don't even, the thing is, I'm like Ron Burgundy, right? You put it on the teleprompter, and if it's there, I'll read it. Did you answer my other question? Sorry, I was changing my name. What was your question? Put it back up there. I'm worried Stubby Clapp gets hired away from us before he gets promoted. So, that could very well happen. What I will say is, and J. David Reed, I know you watch the games a little bit. I know you stay in, but he still does some interesting things. He still has a long way to go, but he could very well be a pretty solid manager. Broxton is skinnier than Jairo Munoz. Man, he really blew up. That's a concern. I'm not a fan. Yeah, I'm Ron Burgundy. David Freese will replace Donaldson after he signs with Cards. Could be. I asked, do you think we will get Donaldson? I think that there's a 50-50 chance that come June, the Toronto Blue Jays are out of the wild card race. And I would think that the Cardinals are in a position to go and acquire him. I would think his price isn't going to be super high. And I would think that the Cardinals would be in as good of a position to acquire him if and when he becomes available as any other team in the league. So the short answer is yes, I think that there's a very good chance. If only one can make the team, Bader or O'Neill, I'll say Bader. I personally would rather have O'Neill go down to the minors. What starter benefits most from Maddox as a pitching coach? Michael Wacha. I'll say Michael Wacha because I think Michael Wacha will have a chance to air it out a little bit. I don't think the most important thing for Carlos Martinez, as we already know, is Yadier Molina. So it doesn't really matter who the pitching coach is. Next up would be Luke Weaver. And Luke Weaver, as Cup of Joe told you at Birds on the Black, he uses the upper part of the strike zone, and that's something that Maddox is going to push. So, as long as they keep working with that, he'll be fine, but I don't think it'll benefit him. I think he just has to stay the course. Miles Mikolas, I love the idea of him using the fastball to set up the curve. I could see that being a positive. It's just a matter of how much they push. So it's Michael Wacha to me. I think Michael Wacha could benefit greatly from having a little bit of help from Mike Maddox. Let's see. Freaking Cards, but now I can't unsee it. Don't worry, he's still better than Wainwright in my book. It could very well be the case. Will Mikolas be in the rotation by mid-season? Yes, he will. Again, let's not get too worked up over that one bad outing. We'll see. Let's see. Will the Cardinals make the playoffs? Does the wild card game count? I'll say that they make the wild card game. I don't know if they'll be the 1 or the 2 seed, but I think they're in a position where they'll be able to make. Will Tommy Edman hit 50 dingers this year? I can't lie to you. I'm gonna have to tell you no. That's not gonna happen. Although if it does happen, we're gonna trap this moment in history, and that'd be incredible. That'd be incredible, man. I'd love that. No, don't get down on Cy Mikolas yet. He's give him a couple starts in spring training, and let's see how it goes. Drink. Wait, no, 100 home run season. Yeah, I guess there's a chance Waino could give up 100 home runs. I do hope he hits a couple, though. Who has more raw power, Mag Sierra or Edmundo Sosa? That's like... So raw power, Sosa definitely. They're probably both even in like game applicable power. But like Edmundo Sosa has like 35 raw power. No, Edmundo Sosa has like 35 raw power, and Mag Sierra has like 25 raw power. There's no power in Magneuris Sierra's game, unfortunately. It's part of the reason why they traded him. I'm anxious to see how that little thing goes and that little terrible display of baseball that's going to happen in Miami, Florida this year. Those people don't care. I was going to say those poor people, but they don't care at all. No way he can be that big without them. How many defensive runs saved will Sierra have this year? Graham, I know you're big on that. What do you think? You tell me. I have the Pappy. There's no way you have the Pappy Van Winkle out. There is no way. I'm going to need video evidence of that. Remember when Sierra hit a home run in the Winter League? Yeah, that was the last one he'll ever hit. If O'Neill gets busted this year, O'Neill is not on steroids. He's Canadian. He has genetics or something. Has anyone not gotten a lock screen? There's no way it'd be 14 defensive runs saved. That's too high. Let's see. More mags inside the Parkers this year or actual home runs? I'm willing to go all in that Magneuris Sierra has more inside the park home runs than he has over the fence traditional home runs. That's got to be a tough task for him to hit anything out of that ballpark. Most underrated pitcher in the bullpen. I'm gonna say Bud Norris. Oh my God, I can't believe I just said Bud Norris. I hate myself for that. Oh, I hate myself. But it's Tyler Lyons more than likely because he should still have the chance to close, and he's not going to close. But I'm gonna say if Brebbia is a good answer. I'm gonna stick with my initial thoughts. Because he's Canadian, he's not on steroids, Nicole said a second ago. I'm just playing around. He's got universal health care, so he can take whatever he wants and be fine, I think. Miami signing Maven probably pushes Mags back to AAA. It might, but remember he's on the 40-man, so anything could happen. They could they could start Mags at the beginning of the season and then transport him wherever they need to. I think of Sierra as Juan Lagares light. Yeah, that's not bad. Adron Chambers or Magneuris Sierra? Mags, but not by as much as you would have hoped. Does Lilliquist destroy Nationals pitching this year? No, I wouldn't think so. He didn't destroy Cardinals pitching, ever, so I wouldn't think he'd do it with the Nationals. Mo referred to Norris as good rotation depth on Jim Hayes' podcast. By the way, listen to the Cat Chat. That stuff's incredible. Mo is playing every angle right now. He was talking about 4th or 5th outfielders. He's talking about getting people time in the outfield. He's playing every angle. Give it a couple weeks and see how he adjusts to those comments. Oh my God. Holy Schilt says 2008 Rick Ankiel or Jag Rick Ankiel. Robert. I will take Luis Robert or Lou Bob. I don't know which one I'm choosing from. Somebody else had an and or up a little while ago. Man, I'm sorry I missed it. We're on the 53-minute mark. We're going to have this thing go about an hour, so we've got about 7 minutes to cram this thing. Robert Stock every day. Robert Stock found his way back into the minor leagues last year, had his velocity up to 98 and did a pretty good job. He was with the Reds, but I don't think he ended with the Reds. I don't remember where he's at. Better chance at the Cy Young, Mikolas or Waino? Mikolas, because there's no way Waino lasts the entire year, right? Yeah, no, Robert Stock was up to 98. I saw a video on it. It's time for Kyle After Dark. So we have 7 minutes of Kyle After Dark. Now, if you're a sensible and rational human being that respects humanity and things, you're going to want to turn back now. Nicole, you got to look at your lock screen. I guarantee it's great. So this is where it ends up. Getting weird. As Ryan Trul said, I went 90 minutes last time. I've got to keep it under that tonight. I'm exhausted. It's been a long day. It's been a long week, and I've got to get my ugly rest for the trip to West Palm Beach to Jupiter here in a little bit. So Helsley is a fun-looking prospect. Someone says I mentioned something about having a story about that earlier, and now I don't remember what the story was. Sometimes I don't realize how many stories I have. Players, girlfriends, and sisters time. This is usually where we talk about family members of players. A drunk bald guy in Cardinals baseball. What more could you want? The sisters and wives of players. That's the first thing that comes to my mind. Pictures of that guy's Pappy Van Winkle. Oh, man. If anyone has old Rick Van Winkle, I'll give you $1,000 right now. Lock screen will be on Birds on the Black members only page tomorrow. Been a long week, isn't it Monday? Yes, that's a really good point. But because I'm leaving to go to Jupiter on Thursday, my week started last Monday and will continue until Wednesday. So it's been a long week, and I'm just getting caught up. Yeah, I'm leaving at this point. I might get blocked for what I want to say. Say it. No, Nicole, you got to say whatever you want. How many Kyle Reese's could Randall Chuck sister bench? I'm about 230 these days, so probably 3 of me. I still haven't seen Gritchick's sister yet. You guys have got to send me pictures and tag it. Story of, oh, yeah, there we go. So, man, Madison Bumgarner, the Cardinals hosted the 2009 All-Star Game and Futures Game. And I got tickets to the Future Game, and I went down there, and the 2 prospects I was most excited to see were Madison Bumgarner and Chris Tillman. Because at the time they were dominating the minor leagues, and Bumgarner in particular was not getting the credit that he deserved. But he was part of the Futures roster, and people said he wasn't going to be a star. And I went down there, and it was raining its butt off, and I said, "Hey, Madison!" And he turned and he looked at me, and I said, "Hey, will you sign my ball?" And he turned around, he went like that, said no. And I said, "Hey, Madison!" And he kind of ignored me, and I said, if I can recite your stat line, will you sign my ball? And he turned and looked, and he's like, yeah. And I read it off to him. I knew it off the top of my head. I read it off. I don't remember exactly what it was. And he was laughing as I was saying it, and so was the couple other guys. And he's like, all right. So I threw the ball down, and he signed it. And I remember saying, I go, you're going to be transformative, man. You're going to take the Giants far. And he threw the ball back, and that's the ball. That's my story. It's a dumb one. I got you covered, Kyle. Sent a pic of assist. Thank you, Graham. Well done. Well done. One step at a time. Holy Jesus, that's not his real assist. Actually, they look exactly alike, don't they? I live in St. Louis, man. Sometimes you do things. So Mikolas is going to bang a player's sister by using his Lizard King nickname. I would imagine that Miles Mikolas, by the way, his wife is incredibly gorgeous. I would imagine that dude set him up and put him down pretty regularly. Players' wives, friends' wives, players' sisters, probably cousins more than likely. Sorry, Nicole. I apologize. It's just screw-off time now. This is just about and I completely apologize. I actually feel terrible about this because you seem like a really cool person. How about this, Nicole? Are there any players, of all the Cardinals players, who would you bang first? Would it be Tyler O'Neill? I have to be honest with you. If I was going to switch sides and bang a Cardinal player, it'd probably be Dexter Fowler. DeYoung, it'd be DeYoung. Yeah, he's a smart guy. He's in great shape. He's one of my favorites. It'd probably be Dexter Fowler. Forever Cards like, wait, hold on a second. We're not talking about this. O'Neill, he's a big dude. It's a lot to be scared of right there. I guess the next part of this little Periscope, look, we want to entertain the ladies as well. So it's only fair that you guys start naming off if you were going to bang Cardinals players, who it would be. Eugene Koo, Ryan Schul, that's a great answer. The worst part about Sun-Hwan Oh going to Toronto is that there's going to be no Eugene Koo, and I'll be honest, he goes right to the top of my list. He leapfrogs Dexter Fowler, for sure. I mean, never mind. Never mind. I can't. You know what? Now's the time to end this. This got super weird. I like the brothers. I'm not afraid. I like the sisters. I'm not afraid. Kyle, check DM. Todd Forever Cards, thank you so much for sending me the picture of this monster. I'd love to watch, in an 80s style fight scene, like a knife scene, where Gritchick and his sister are, tied up with knives, in the Bad music video by Michael Jackson, where they're, swiping knives at each other and, trying to murder each other. That'd be pretty cool, right? By the way, Gritchick's sister is jacked. God, they look exactly alike, too. He gives 110 every at bat. Oh. All right. We're about to, drink time. Drink time. O'Neal probably could knock someone out in one punch. I imagine that with O'Neal, if you like accidentally turned into him, like he was behind you and you're like, oh, I forgot my keys in my car, and you turned around and you like accidentally put your head into his shoulders, that'd knock you out too. What the fuck is the scene? I missed it. Where they're like, they're tied up, their hands are tied, and they're like, but instead they're dancing instead of like trying to murder each other like they should be. Yeah, we dance and stuff too. Who's more jacked, O'Neal or Harper? It's gotta be Tyler O'Neal. This is worse than the Mabry Dong Periscope. We've had 2 Mabry Dong Periscopes. Does anyone know Yaris Robertson or something like that? Little boy that's a huge Saints fan. I don't know anything about it. We need to start a GoFundMe to send Kyle to meet O'Neal. I'll meet him here in a couple days. I don't think Brandon Phillips is kicking anyone this year with O'Neal in our dugout. I think that's a really good point. XFL to STL, that'd be a cool thing. Harper is jacked, but Tyler O'Neal doesn't even look like a real person. He doesn't look like a real person. Don't get me started on Harper. He's a freaking hothead. Nicole, who is your favorite non-Cardinal player? Mike Trout is jacked. Yeah, all of the guys that they're in premier physical condition. Don't talk about little boys after mentioning Mabry's dunk. Did we talk about little boys? Can't do that. If you have to send someone to fight the Cardinals, if you have to send someone to fight for the Cardinals, Tommy Pham would take someone's eye out. He would stab somebody in their kidney, drop the shiv made out of a toothbrush, and walk off like Cortez did it or something like that. Wait, who did Nicole say? Who is your favorite non-Cardinal player? I missed that. Sorry. I've got people sending me pictures of Bader's sister, which is absolutely incredible. And oh my God, Ryan Massey's drinking the pappy. Attaboy, Ryan. I'm gonna clap for you, brother. Oh my God, that stuff's incredible. I've only ever had it like 3 times. Oh, Anthony Rizzo. That's fine. Nicole's favorite player. I like Anthony Rizzo too. And from like a personal standpoint, putting grudges and rivalries aside, what he did in Florida last week was both moving and touching, and just a total man move. What an incredible man. What an incredible heavy, heartful man. I love that. Let's talk about Alex Bregman. Alex Bregman's going to hit 20 home runs and steal 20 bases. You want me to go put my Bregman jersey on? I can go put my Bregman jersey on. I could take my shirt off. Yeah, Dominic Leone's good. I will get shot for that. I don't know. For the record, that pappy was a gift. I'm not flush like that. You're not steady flossing, Ryan. We never got that Alex Bregman for Alex Reyes trade, Kyle. I was pushing for it. I was pushing and pushing. I thought there might be a 3-way trade where we could trade Alex Reyes for Bregman and Luis Roberts. Please don't take your shirt off. I promise, Nicole, I won't. I'll put the shirt over it. I would never take my shirt off, although I said I would never dance or talk about John Mabry's dick, and I've done all of those things. Let's see. Bregman jersey. Oh, Lourdes Gurriel. Interesting stuff. Kyle Schwarber is skinnier than an anorexic teenager. Good. You're right. Those pictures, he doesn't look healthy. That does not fit his body style. That dude needs to be chunky. He needs to be chunky, and that's nothing against him. Good for him that he's in shape and he's healthy, but I just really, really wish that he was just a little chunky. He doesn't have any fat on him at all. I want to go get the Bregman jersey. We'll have the Bregman jersey next time. He does need a hamburger. Indeed. He went one step further than Matt Adams. He's even skinnier than Adams was. It's going to be freaky if Schwarber hits 30 with that body. And he might. And they were already talking about the agility that he's added to his game. They're saying he's already faster, so maybe something good happens. I like this little community we've created here. This is fun, man. It's fun to get together every Monday and talk about weird stuff, but also talk about some great baseball stuff and have the incredible Cardinals gifts give us great presents. I love this, guys and gals. Thank you so much for taking part in it. I love my inbox being flooded with some interesting pictures. It's great stuff. Hashtag Lubop for Luis Robert. We like that a lot too. Nicole, you said Voight. Does that mean no or go on Voight? Does Jack Flaherty have a sister? Anyone? Help Graham out. I mean, Albert looked weird when he first came up. So did McGuire. Yeah, but it's different. It's different to see them big and then go skinny than to see them skinny and go big, right? How many wins will the Cardinals have in 2018? 86. Who is the best prospect I could see play in State College this year? Brady Whalen. Whoever they draft, one of the draft picks will go there. I guess there's a chance Elwaris Montero could be there. Luis Bandez could be there. That's all I can think of off the top of my head, Ryan. I'm sorry. Hey, Ryan Schul, good night, brother. Thank you so much for being a part of this, man. You are an absolute delight, my friend. I hope you enjoy your Stefan Trosclair lock screen. Thanks a lot. Does anyone else have anything going on? Again, we're at an hour and 5 minutes. This has been Graham, and at the buzzer. So tomorrow you will get my write-up on Jake Woodford. I'll give you the Cliff Notes version here, and I'll ask you to please read it tomorrow over at Birds on the Black. The Cliff Notes version is he'll never get his velocity back up to the 94, 95, 96 average that we saw before they drafted him, Graham. I know you asked about that. Who's the better light-skinned prospect, Hicks or Flaherty? Hicks. Flaherty. It's a tie for two. Tie for first. He'll never get it back up, but he's done a really good job of refining his secondary stuff. The thing that really concerns me, even though he had a really good ERA in 2017, is that he let up a lot of contact and he put a lot of guys on base. If you put his hits per 9 and his walks per 9 together, it was almost 13 batters per 9 innings. His ERA was low, but it got him in trouble. And he finished the season really well, which was awesome. But let me put it this way. He's got a lot of refining of his secondary stuff to do. He might not have the stuff that is going to strike out a lot of guys. He lets up too many fly balls, and if he can just induce some more grounders, that'd be a big step in the right direction. Alrighty, final question. Will Matt Holliday become a play-by-play commentator? I think he's too shy to do it on a regular basis. No, I don't think so. He has a personality for it, and it's fun to watch him bullshit with Jimmy the Cat Hayes. But I just don't think that's for him. You know a thing about not getting it back up? I'll see myself out. I do not, actually. This thing's hard like 24 hours a day. It's weird. You know things about blah, blah, blah. Where does Hicks end the season? Hicks ends the season... Well, I'm assuming he's on the Sandy Alcantara track, which would mean that he'll end the season as part of the 40-man for the St. Louis Cardinals. Again, DM either Mo's Algorithms or Cardinal Gifts if you want to be in our fantasy league. We're going to try to make that happen. The avocado head must be pretty hard. It super is. Not only with decision makings or retaining knowledge, but just, it's really hard. You guys, I think I'm done. I've got a little bit left here. Hold on. We've got enough for one more drink. That stuff's 60% alcohol. You got to be smarter than that. One bite, everyone knows the rules. I don't know what that is. That's it. So that's, does Greg Garcia end the year on the 40-man? Oh, Ryan, good question. No, something happens and he's not a part of the team by the end of the year. He gone, as Graham would say. He gone. Barstool Sports, LOL, great website. I don't read any Barstool. I probably should. I should read more people because all I really read is me and the incredible work that we do over at Birds on the Black. And, the Post-Dispatch, some of the national guys. Good night, Kyle. Thanks again, and cheers, Cardinals gifts. Midmo Cardinals, thank you so much. I hope you enjoy your lock screen. Any guys here like UFC from Nicole? Nicole, I used to be big into UFC a couple years back, and I am not huge into it anymore. Not for any reason, just because I'm pressed for time, as it were. I used to love that Anderson Silva. He was the one who really got me into it. He was incredible. How do you not hate St. Louis for letting the Rams go? Because the Rams were going no matter what. That had nothing to do with St. Louis. St. Louis actually put together a pretty valiant effort to keep them here, but they were never going to stay. Boston Rider Shaughnessy. I'm not a big fan of Dan Shaughnessy, but he's not terrible. He's pretty good like 75% of the time. Hicks J12 says, thanks for the Periscope. Hey, thank you for participating. Let me say that, again, speaking of family, I'm a big fan of your family, man. I'm a big fan of everything that you guys do. And there's good things on the horizon for members of your family, for sure. MLS or XFL to STL, I think just for the long run, I think that the city and the county here, we have a divide, without getting into any of that politics. But I think the city and the county could both get behind the MLS, where I don't think XFL is something that both sides could get into. So I'll say MLS, even though I'd rather have the XFL. Everyone's going to bed. You guys are no fun. Again, it's my pleasure, Jay Hicks. I was sent Evan Mendoza. Oh, don't worry. Gifts will get that scored away. He'll make sure to get you Victor Garcia, and Evan Mendoza will go to our boy Forever Cards. Yeah, that's it. All right, so this is what we do. I'm going to say cheers to everyone who participated in this. It was another great episode of Prospects After Dark. Cheers to you. Now, stay locked on to Birds on the Black. What Cup of Joe is doing with pitch tunneling is incredible. We're going to get cards, going to pump up some stuff whether he likes it or not. Alex Crisafulli puts out these shorts that are better than anything you're going to read, man. It's like one after the other is more and more interesting. I'm going to keep bringing you the prospect stuff. The Dirty 30 prospect list churns on with Jake Woodford tomorrow. And again, guys and gals, you're incredible. For everybody at Birds on the Black, we'll see you down in Jupiter for a spring training edition of Prospects After Dark. And happy hunting, everyone.